So I met Kristen in Murfreesboro around 2007, and we got married on June 11th, 2011. She's my best friend, and so fast forward, we tried to have children in 2015. October 15th of 2015, Ruby James Troutt came along, our little girl. After having some difficulty having children, she was a real miracle. And then 2 years after that, so the date that our lives changed was October 13th of 2017, 2 days before Ruby's second birthday. Kristen had been having pain in her stomach and abdomen area, and we thought there was probably a cyst or there was something going on, and so she had some CT scans done and ultimately an MRI, and on October 13th of 2017, we were told that she almost certainly had ovarian cancer. And so Ruby's birthday was 2 days later. It was at our house on Battleground Drive here in Murfreesboro, and all the family was over. Our little baby was 2 years old, and we had the most beautiful party with this huge black cloud hanging over our heads. And then 2 days after her birthday party on the 15th, October 17th of 2017, Kristen had her first surgery. And that started our journey together as a couple fighting cancer. October of 2023 is when the next moment of that my life changed forever. And it happened to be 6 years to the day after her first surgery. It was October 17th, 2023. We were in a hospital in Nashville. Kristen was going through incredible pain, and cancer was back, but it wasn't showing up that big on scans, and she was having to have different surgeries. It was starting to block her intestines, and on that day she was going for a surgery, and they came to get her, and this is one of the hardest things, maybe the hardest thing that's ever happened in my life. She had a seizure right there in the hospital room as she was fighting for her life, trying to go for this surgery that was going to save her life. And I was in the room with her, and it was so hard to see that. People rushed in, healthcare workers, nurses and doctors rushed in and took her to a different surgery. They took her to, not to surgery, but to the ICU to try and save her life, just to keep her stable. And as they took her out of the room, I hit the floor. And that was the moment that I finally kind of acknowledged or imagined that my wife might be about to die, or like there's a chance she wasn't gonna live. And I kind of started leaning on, at that time I was going through some Stoic philosophy, and I started leaning on this phrase that kept coming back to me, and it just said, I'll either endure it or I'll die. And with my faith in Jesus, like, dying wasn't so bad. Going through that night, and then being at hospice with Kristen, and Ruby was out of school, I was off of work, that changed my life. And so through that, through Kristen, she gave me so many gifts about love and how to treat people, and lesser of these, and she changed who I was when I met her, and being her husband changed who I was. And then her dying also, it was like a whole nother set of gifts that she gave me through her death, which have allowed my life to open up in such crazy, cool ways. And I feel like I'm just at the beginning of, this next chapter of what I can do with my daughter here on earth. So in 2013, my mother, Paula Troutt, passed away from cancer, ovarian cancer. So between the two of them, the two most beautiful and important women in my life have passed away from cancer. And I would call that a huge dark cloud, a very scary storm that occurred in my life. I mean, this storm could have captured me, and I could have decided to go dark and be mad and be a victim. But that would have been horrible. Like, that is not what these women represented. And so one of my biggest purposes outside of being a good father is to make my mom and to make my wife proud and to make them smile. Another neat thing that has happened through loss is I was in sales, and so I was encouraged to take people to lunch and to go have coffee and to get to know people. But there was always this motive, or I was always supposed to be selling something, you know? And that felt, it didn't align with like my soul. But like for the past 2 or 3 years, I've been filling my mind with such healthy people and ideas and wisdom and growth, and it's powerful, man. Like it's caused me to be really curious about other people's lives. And so now I love drinking coffee more than ever, maybe just because of the age, but there's something really special about being quiet in the morning and having a cup of coffee. And then there's also something, it's almost like a treat when I get to meet a friend or even someone new at a coffee shop around town, and I get to sit down with them. I feel like total peace. And so my network of like friends and community has increased so much through meeting at coffee shops and sharing a cup of coffee with somebody and just asking them some questions about what they care about or what's exciting in their lives right now. And so for anyone out there that's scared of something that might be going on in their lives right now, whether it's divorce or health or just fear, anxiety, anything that's kind of crippling your life right now, just buckle down and try to put your mind into the Bible, try to pray, try to meditate, force yourself to listen to positive thinkers, turn off the news, wake up early, make your bed, exercise, make your heart work, eat whole foods, take deep breaths. I want to encourage any of you that are scared right now or fearful just to know that if you can get through the storm, that there is a lot of goodness on the other side, and that the world can open up in ways that you can't even imagine right now. And the community is a big deal. Lean on other people and learn to love and trust, and good things will come into your life.